What happens if achieving your goals is the only option? Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. Hope you had a great weekend and you're ready for a great week ahead of yourself. So I want to talk about making achieving your goals the only option. I've got a few stories I want to share with you. But first things first, same thing we do every Monday. We talk about what you need to do this week to make sure that on Friday you can look back and say it's been a successful week, but more importantly, you're closer to your bigger goals. So be committed. If you're one of my clients that's on my accountability program, reply to the email you would have received this morning. Let me know what you're being held accountable to. If you're not, if you're watching or listening to this on social media, leave me a comment, send me a DM, whatever you want to do. Make sure you're being held accountable so that you can look back on Friday and make sure that you've done the things that you need to get closer to your bigger goals. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you don't have clearly defined written out goals, go to jeffheggie.com/goals, go through my free goal setting program, get that figured out so that you have specific goals that you're working towards. All right, on Friday, we're gonna look back and see how you did. Today, I wanna talk about how you make the goals you wanna achieve the only possible outcome. So we talk a lot about accountability. We do this every Monday and Friday, talking about what are the things you need to do. Well, I've been working with one of my coaches in a group setting this last, we're going on to our second week, where we made some goals for the month, and every morning we have a quick call and we say whether or not we achieved our commitment from the day before and what our new commitment is for today. So basically what we just walk through every Monday and Friday, but we're doing it on a daily basis. We have a quick call, just concise. Did we do what we said we're going to do? Yes or no? And if we didn't, how are we going to make that up? And what are we committed to do today? There's one of the exercises we had to go through this weekend was talking about our why. Why are we doing this? And why are we going through this whole thing together so that we can make sure to achieve these things? And I talked about my why and the different things I go through, the 7 level deep. But why am I doing this program? Why am I doing this exercise with them? And the reason is by being committed to someone, knowing every single day that I've got to be committed and accountable to the things that I say I'm going to do. I've created a goal for myself that I want to achieve this month that's bigger than I would have set on my own. Because when I was setting my goal, I set the goal on what I thought would be a stretch, and then I added to it. I made it bigger than that. And I feel that by being accountable every single day, this is going to help me. And so it's been cool because I've actually been working with a couple people, having them do the same thing. We're doing it through email, but every day they're sending me some of my mindset questions and some of the things they're accountable to. And I think the progress they're making is going to be awesome. So what I want to talk about is and the reason I want to talk about this today is as I was talking to one of these ladies, I thought back to a couple books that I had read at one time. And so what I want to share with you is the first one was a book by Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen called The 1 Minute Millionaire. And it's a neat book because it's 2 books in one. The left-hand side of every page is talking about some strategies and different stuff. The right-hand side is actually a story. And what it is, it's a story about a lady that if she can't make $1 million within 90 days, she's going to lose 2 of her children. And the reason I brought that up, and I actually asked her to order the book and read it, is because we can do amazing things when that's our only option, when we have to do it, when we have no other option but to be successful in a certain thing. And when we are committed to ourselves, when we commit to a goal that we're going to achieve, like in this situation when I'm working with my coach, that I'm going to achieve a certain goal by the end of the month, and I'm accountable to it every day, and make it, there's no other option. We have to do it. And I've signed a contract on, if we do it, here's the reward I get. If I don't do it, here's what I have to do. It's really a different scenario when you've got to make it happen, when you've got to really dig down. I mean, just a good example of it was one of the things I had to do one day was write some sales copy for a landing page. And my day went nothing like planned. I didn't get it done by the end of the day. I was busy with mortgage stuff, I was busy with other stuff, and all of a sudden it's the end of the day and I don't have it done. In a lot of cases, I would have had a lot of excuses. I would have said, oh, no big deal, I'll take care of it tomorrow because it's been busy. Well, I knew the next morning at 7 a.m. I had to get on a call and share my accountability. I made sure it was done. I not only made sure it was done, I did extra and got the landing page launched and everything. And so having that accountability, having no other option but to be successful in what we're doing makes a big difference. The other book I was reflecting on is a book by Hiram W. Smith that I read in 2002. It's called What Matters Most. And the thing I like about that book, it's got a lot of things in it, but there's one particular story that I like in it, that it talks about, looking at your values. What do you value and what is going to help push you? And, when I talk about going through the 7 Levels Deep program, and that's in the goal setting program, if you go through that, it really helps you figure out your why and your purpose behind things. But understanding what matters most to you really has an impact on what you're going to achieve and what you're going to do to make sure you achieve it. The story he gives, and looking back on this, you can obviously guess how long ago it was written, but it was talking about the World Trade Centers. And he says, picture yourself in your own front yard. Semi comes by, drops off a huge I-beam. It's out in your front yard. If someone said to you, I'll give you $100 to walk across that I-beam, it's however many feet, 200 feet long or whatever it is. Not that hard to have that I-beam out on your lawn and to walk across that. So then he says, okay, we put it on a semi, haul it downtown to middle of New York City, get a crane to lift it up between the 2 World Trade Centers. We perch this I-beam between those 2 buildings, however many hundred of feet in the air. You get up there, the wind's blowing, and those buildings are so tall, they actually move some in the wind, and you can feel the buildings rocking in the wind. If someone said, now, get out there on that I-beam and walk across it, not very likely you're going to do it for $100. So think about that. This I-beam that's just about the width of your foot, the whole building's swaying back and forth in the wind. You're hundreds of feet above New York City streets. Would you do it for $1,000? Would you do it for $10,000? Would you do it for $100,000? What would you do it for? You can't sit on your butt and scoot across. You've got to walk across. Most people I've ever asked this question to have said they wouldn't do it if they're honest with themselves. And in the book, that's what Hiram Smith said as well. Now, picture that you're turning around saying, no, I'm not going to do it. And over on the other side, someone on the other end sets down your baby. And your baby sees you on the other side and starts crying to you and calling you and starts crawling out on the I-beam towards you. Would you do it then? You probably wouldn't hesitate, but you would run across that I-beam to make sure that baby didn't crawl out on there. The reason I like that story is it puts in perspective of what's really important to us and what we will do for things that are that important to us. So what is it you need to do to make your goals that important to you? That's the important part about going through the 7 Levels Deep, to really figure out your why, to figure out your real purpose behind each goal, and figure out a goal that's big and that is important to you enough that you're going to run across that I-beam. So if your goals aren't big enough, if you set goals at a level that you set them there because you know you can achieve them, set them bigger. Set them way bigger. And figure out what's going to make you run across that I-beam. Figure out how you're going to be held accountable to make sure that you do that. I talk about it all the time, get an accountability partner. Get a coach or a mentor that isn't a close friend or a family member, that isn't going to let you off the hook, that's going to make sure that you are doing the things that you say you do and help you to achieve those goals. Figure them out this week. It's going to be a great week. What are you going to do by Friday? And make it big. Make something big so that by Friday you can look back and just blow yourself away. that you can't believe how much you did this week? Are you going to make 100 sales calls this week? Why not 10x it? Why not do 1,000? Does it scare you? That'd be perfect if it does. Just make sure this week's a big week. If you really want to take this to another level, join me on Wednesday for a free masterclass, Your Bigger Future Masterclass. Go to jeffheggie.com/biggerfuture, get registered today, and be there on Wednesday. Thanks for being with me. I'll be back tomorrow.
Hey, athletes and parents of athletes. So much time, money, and effort is put into the physical aspect of your sport to become the best you can be. But the mental game, it's often neglected, and it's just as important as the physical game. In fact, it's usually the differentiator between the good and the great athletes. Come and join me in the Confident Athlete program where you'll learn to control your confidence, develop a powerful mindset, and unlock your full potential. Go to jeffheggie.com/confidentathlete to find out more. I look forward to seeing you there.
Hey, some of you may know this, but in addition to my coaching, I've recently joined Geneva Financial Home Loans, a mortgage lender headquartered in Chandler, Arizona, as a mortgage loan originator. I've always had a passion for serving others, and now I'm proud to also be a part of Home Loans Powered by Humans. If you're in the state of Arizona and looking to take the next step in your journey, contact me at 801-830-3858 to start the conversation. NMLS number 42056, BK number 0910215, Equal Opportunity Lender.